everybody. Come and snuggle up with me. I'm about to read a bedtime story. My name's Trish Donald and I have The Bad Apple and the latest anthology. Blame. That's what we apples always get. The blame. All through history we're picked up on as the bad guy. Right back it goes. Beginning with the Garden of Eden. That's when this once upon a time story started. But it's no fairy tale. Back to my great, you get the picture, grandmother, who tempted Eve by looking all shiny and delicious. Wow, that's what people like to say anyway. Trust me, she didn't tempt anyone. She was just hanging around, being her delicious, beautiful self, minding her own business. No one believes me, of course. I know for sure, since it happened to me. 1 minute, I'm hanging innocently from my tree, and the next, a hag picked me, poisoned me, and popped me in a bag before toddling off to some teenager's house. Before I know it, I'm part of a murderous plot. I'll tell you now, being dunked in that disgusting potion was no picnic. All that muttering, fairest in the land, as she threw me and my friends into that concoction. It was vile. It stung. I'm gagging. My mates are gagging. We're bobbing for safety, but she keeps pushing us under. Oh, the pain, the pain. What did that witch do next? She had the nerve to lug us through the woods in a sack. That sack made me itch. And let me tell you, I itched in places I have never itched before. Then suddenly, I'm pulled from the bag. My friends are screaming my name. They're trying to save me, holding on to me for dear life. I'm sure you can appreciate that's hard to do when you don't have any hands. I would never have trusted that such a horrid creature, with that hook of a nose and those eyes, those cold, beady eyes. I know deformed hands like that when I see them too, with those filthy, long, spider-like nails. They were disgusting. And they were holding on to me, sweet, delicious me. Yep, I could see right through that disguise. She was pretending to be a kind old lady, but there was cruelty in the way she smiled when she handed me over. She was rotten to the core. There was only one person who could have been as cold and calculating as that, the Queen. History repeated itself, and that silly teenager couldn't resist me. I tried to warn her. Really, I did. I even called out, wriggled my stem at her. She could talk to all manner of creatures, birds, deer, even bunnies, but not Apple. Oh no, not Apple. She was so trusting too, but I could see right through that disguise. Snow, strange name, I know. That's what they called her though, because her skin was as white as snow. She didn't notice a thing. Too trusting she was, too innocent. Well, if you ask me, much too of a nitwit. If Snow hadn't posted all those selfies on that magic mirror box she was obsessed with, then the Queen wouldn't have noticed how much attention she was getting from all those followers. Come to think of it, that's probably how she found her. So deep in the woods. I've heard those boxes have a location finder in them. So, where was I? What was I saying before I got distracted? That's right. It had been a rough day. I was thrust into the light and straight towards Snow's face. I was trying to warn her. She was taking me from the Queen, her mouth's moving closer. I could see her filling. and her nostril hairs. Then she took one bite of me and boom, she's on the ground. Splat, I'm on the ground. It all happened so fast. I was bruised, itchy, alone, forgotten, and blamed for poisoning an innocent girl. Then the Queen ran off with a smirk as wide as a Cheshire cat, and I thought, I'll probably never see my friends again. What a day! I'm lying there on the ground, in the dirt, near the bushes. Snow's on the ground. Beside me, the Queen's gone. The world's gone silent. And guess what happens? Who happens to show up? 7 little people, all men. They were turned up, covered in dust. They have picks in their hands and packs on their backs, and were humming a little song. How did it go? Oh yes, a funny little ditty, quite catchy. Hi ho, it's home from work we go. Slowly it dawned on me, dwarves. I've never seen a dwarf before, so I was naturally curious. Funny, stocky little fellows with beards and big noses. They were hard workers from what I hear, obsessed with mining and gems. And by the look of their ginormous packs, they had gotten a good haul that day. Suddenly they saw snow, and everything turned to applesauce. They were yelling, crying, howling, fussing, bringing water, praying. I'm like, where were you 5 minutes ago? But it's no use. She's gone. And that's when it happened. The Vigil. Oh, I hope I never have to hear another sorrowful song from a grieving dwarf as long as I live. That morning was woeful. Sends a shiver to my very core just remembering it. Snow must have been really good housekeeper. Judging by their level of upset, good help must be hard to find. She worked so hard, poor girl, and now look at her, dead. She was obviously very popular with the forest animals too. They all came to pay their respects. There was a constant parade. I nearly got trampled on several times, and once I rolled out of the way just in the nick of time. I nearly got trampled on. Whoops, I said that. Best I get back to the right line. She'd been so kind to them. As far as I can tell, they were her only friends. They liked her singing, especially the birds. They said she had the sweetest voice. And she sang as she cooked, and she cleaned, and she made the bed, did the laundry, mopped the floors, carried the water from the well for the dwarfs' baths. There's a lot of work looking after one dwarf, and she had 7 of them. Now here's the rub. I hear a rumour last week that she's been walking about town alive. Can you believe it? My mate told me she was flatting with a woman she'd met online. She had an unusual name too, Cinder something. From what I hear, this Cinder girl spent her days cleaning and had a jealous stepmother as well, until she eventually ran away too. If you ask me, Snow saw an opportunity when I came along and faked her own death to start a new life. I thought she was sweet and delicious and innocent, but it looks like even she used me. Me! She's really upset the apple cart now. So, what happens next? Well, I'm starting with you, telling you what really happened that day. Then I'm going public, as It's time to set the record straight. How do you like them apples? Sweet dreams, everybody.